Our next contributor is Sheena Gary.
So first to talk briefly about bare branches in a beautiful brain. It represents having this rooted element of mental disability or challenge within the brain. And on the bottom left corner, the dark black area represents the negative thoughts that go in the mind of someone who has a mental challenge or disability. And then the kind of rainbow color is the positive side of a mental disability. And I'm going to briefly talk about those real quick. So the challenging thoughts in the negative side are: you cannot do it, you will not be successful, you will not be okay, you are a mess, you will not go far, this is going to stop you, you will not accomplish anything, your disabilities define who you are, today is not your day, you are weak, you are not smart, you cannot do what others can do. But on the contrary, there are good sides to a mental disability where you do have those creative and positive thoughts that do come out of it, such as: you can do it, you can be successful, you will be okay, you are great, you will go far, you are amazing, do not let this stop you, you will accomplish great things, today is your day to shine, everything will be okay, make today count, your life matters. Okay, so next I am going to read When Colors Combine, which is a piece I did that represents the various mental challenges that I personally have faced. A cold metal stool in a small dark room waits for me as my footsteps travel towards it. Before me, a blank white canvas with an empty white paint palette greets me as I take a seat. To my left, a cart sits there with 4 different paint tubes of colors I did not choose, but there is nothing else I was given to use. The colors given are bright and bold, one so dark and one so cold. Yellow, red, black, and teal make me dread what I could start to feel. Each color seems like it could evoke emotions that might be unwanted, daunted and haunted. With reluctance, I reach for the first tube. Yellow is the first color I grab. My hand holds the tube and I begin to sense something surreal. Holding the bright yellow paint tube sends a jolt through me. I feel energized and so mesmerized that I become unfocused. My mind wanders from the sight of this electric color, so I quickly place a blob of paint on the palette before I forget and feel a sense of regret. Red is the next color I reach for. This color feels so bold. It is irritable, I've been told. It seems angry, which is saddening, and irrational, thus it's maddening. Knowing how unpredictable this color could be, I lightly squeeze the tube. Immediately, I reach for the next color and am taken aback. The color is black. I feel crippled when holding the paint tube, and it is debilitating. In this dark room, although enclosed, it seems clouds are forming and it is heavily storming. This feels like my lowest point yet. I am drowning in this rain that is wet. With my body exhausted and my spirit unmotivated, I slowly struggle to place a black blob of paint on the palette. Over my shoulder, I see a color that looks colder. It shows fear and trembles. This teal resembles memories once suppressed, a life filled with pain and upset. Staring blankly at this color, I cannot help but think it has seen things unfortunate. Time could have flashed before it. Yet when terror and trauma followed with time, teal could not escape. Instead, it found a home on my paint palette with these other unique colors, ready to begin to paint. With the first brushstroke of yellow, I feel hyper. It seems like I am moving fast, yet I have not moved an amount that is vast. Sit still, I think, although yellow is telling me to keep moving. Feeling myself fidget with the paintbrush, I get distracted. I pause and stare, wondering what had happened. After I collect my thoughts, I brush some quick strokes of yellow paint onto my canvas. Sitting anxiously, I ask myself whether I can handle this. The next few brushstrokes are painted with a color I dread. To no surprise, it is red. This color makes me frantic and I panic. It is euphoric and I want more of it, but I stop because I recognize that I am lost and impulsive, for I know that the result is. nights of lying awake feeling empty while still full of energy. With my mind feeling strained, my body beginning to refrain from experiencing this pain that has drained what I have left in my brain, longer strokes of red paint fill my canvas. My next color to paint with is black. With black on the bristles, I lift my paintbrush up. I realize the black paint blends in with the room, this color that often represents doom and gloom. Feeling worthless and miserable and my positivity invisible, my body, brain, and heart break. When will my broken heart be mended? Such a question is open-ended. Nonetheless, my hand drags the brush down the canvas, leaving one long stroke of black. Happiness is now something I lack. Teal is staring at me on the palette, waiting to be used. Could it be lonely, I start to question? Immediately, I feel scared and uncomfortable when the tip of the paintbrush touches the teal. This color makes me timid, and this pain and sorrow within me is amid flashbacks that I attempt to keep hidden and nightmares that my mind deems forbidden. Helpless and hopeless, restless and lifeless, I sit thinking if I will ever live a life where I feel cherished. Yet I resume painting and put long strokes of teal on the canvas, continuing to drag out each heavy stroke. The thoughts and feelings teal brings are relentless. Now I must bring myself back to completing this painting. All these colors are overwhelming, so I feel like I am fainting. This creativity I have been given is a blessing but a curse, because often my motivation will disperse. While sitting here frustrated and stressed, I tear up as I wish for my brain to rest. Crying and aching, feeling myself breaking, this feeling I can't take it, but I'll keep smiling, I'll keep faking it. These feelings fade in and out, come and go, and make me wonder if I can handle tomorrow. Although my mind has faded, and this all seems so tragic, I look at my palette and sense these colors could have magic. I grab my paintbrush and start to mix yellow, red, black, and teal together to create a piece that could be something better. These colors mix to make a muddy green, a color that most would find ugly. Yet this color, not favored by others, is the missing piece to a painting made with elbow grease. I add a few more brush strokes of this muddy green, then place my brush on the easel. Stepping back, I can observe what I created and admit that I am gleeful. With all its color, it sits there full of wonder. I bask in its beauty with such life that is not muted. I never thought these colors that could exude emotions so bleak could create something quite tremendous and unique. But when colors combine, my mind is just fine. Relieved with peace, overwhelmed with disbelief that this palette of mine could create something beautiful, magical, and extraordinarily special. Quite a sight to find, a sight that's mine, yet all is now fine because my colors combined. And a brief closing statement. When I originally started trying to figure out how I wanted to write this piece, in my head I was like, you know what, I don't want to necessarily label what I have. I didn't want to categorize specifically the various mental challenges I go through, because in some senses I wanted anyone to be able to take something from this piece. So I decided to take an abstract approach with the piece and make it where each challenge would have an associated color and persona, so anyone could get something out of it. And I was really pleased with how it ended up turning out, because I personally found some therapy through it and hope that you all enjoyed it. And lastly, I would like to say a huge thank you to Montgomery College, to Trio, to Monica, everyone who has helped aid me in my journey. I am now at University of Maryland and continuing to pursue architecture, and I would not be where I am today if it weren't for all of the endless support I've gotten here and in my life. So thank you very much.